or they're uncomfortable. Okay, Farid, Ato.
I'm very honored to present to you on behalf of 17 together, bringing you an insightful presentation on restaurant order system. Our presentation is based on 5 stages, which is Stage 1 includes structure functioning and main display function. Stage 2 order handling logic. Stage 3 order again logic and main menu. Stage 4 menu display and order placement. Stage 5 payment handling logic. This will allow the customer to purchase. This will allow the customer to be able to purchase things online. So let's dive into the program to know what's next.
Strengthen and improve structure definition and user experience. But then it's nice that in every programming language, it has its own format. So we will be using C programming language, which is hashtag include stdio_h. This line includes the standard input or output library in C. It allows the program to use functions like printf to print output to the console and scanf to read input from the user. Extract. This line begins the definition of a new data structure for items. The type F keyword allows you to create a new type name for the structure, making it easier to use data in the code. Characters. Inside the items structure, this line declares a character name that can hold a string up to 59 characters, whose and now to the list. This means you can store the name of the main item that is up to 59 characters. Float price. This line declares a variable price of type float. It is used to store the price of the main item, allowing for decimal value. Item. This line closes the structure definition and leaves the flat item. After this, you can create variables of type items. Void display. Items name. This line defines a function display that takes an array of items as its parameter. This function will be responsible for displaying the main item. Printf. Welcome to GT Paris Plus. Have a look at our menu. Inside the display function, this line sends a welcome message and prompts the user to look at the main item. Printf. Welcome to GT Paris Plus. Have a look at our menu. Inside the display function, this line sends a welcome message and prompts the user to look at the menu. The end is used to place the new lines for better format. For index, for int I equals 0, this line starts a loop that's iterates 5 times. Each iteration responds to one main item. Printf. Within the loop, this line prints each main item. The format specifier is used to print the index plus 1, so it starts from 1. As for the name of the item and the %2f is for the price formatted through the small places. The menu name assets the name of the item in the menu. Price assesses its price. In summary, this code sets up a structure to both items and define a function to display a welcome message along with the list of main items and their price. The loop iterates through first 5 items to the main arrow and prints each one in a format way.
Out of Farid, people know me to be street code, and I'll be taking you through the function to take order. Now let's dive into the code and let's see how it goes. Now, first of all, this function we are seeing here, this whole function is a void function. And now, why do we say it's a void function? Because it returns no value. Now, this take order we have here, which is self-explanatory. And now this function consists of two parameters, which is the min, and then the total. Now, what does the menu does? The menu here is an array. It's an array of items. And now this total here is just a pointer to a float variable. Now we move on to the local variable declarations. Now the local variable declarations, which is the int, choice, and then quantity. Now the choice we have here, the choice is an integer to store the user's menu choice. And now this quantity we have here is also an integer to store the quantity of the chosen item. Now this char response we have here, what does it do? Now this is to store the user's response for ordering another item. Alright, now we move on to the do while statement. Now what does the do while statement does? Now, first of all, this line begins with a do while statement, a do while loop, sorry. And now what does it do? Executes. It will continue to execute until the user chooses to stop ordering. Now we have printf. Which is enter the number of items to order. And we have 0. And we have into bracket 0 to stop. Now we have, under it we have the scanf, which is %d and choice. Now what this does? This line we are seeing here, it prompts the user to enter number of the item they want to order. And now this scanf we will have here, this scanf, %d and choice. Now what does this also does? This scanf function reads an integer from the user and stores it in the choice variable. Now we move on to the if statement. Now if choice is equal to 0, break. Someone might ask, why is the break here? Now first of all, let's explain if choice is equal to 0. Now if the user enters 0, then this if statement will execute. And now the break here, this break statement will exit the loop. That's why we have this break here. So when the user enters 0, and then the statement will execute, and then this break statement will exit the loop. Now we come back to this else if statement. Now what does this else if statement also does? Now first of all, if the user enters a number between 1 and 5, as we have here, if else choice is greater or equal to 1, and then choice is less or equal to 0. In other words, if choice is maybe in between 1 and 5, which is inclusive, and then if the choice is between 1 and 5 inclusive, the statement will also execute. Now we come to you have selected, we have printf, you have selected. Now what does this does? Immediately you enter a number which is in between 1 and 5, which means you have chosen to order food in the menu. This statement simply means that when we move back here, we said if else choice is greater or equal to 1 and choice is less than 5, you should give your selected item. And then we earlier said that else invalid, so which means when you enter a number which is not in between 1 and 5, you have an invalid choice, and then you'll be given a prompt that please select a valid item number. And now another statement will come, printf, do you want to order another item, y and n? And then scanf, we have %1s response. Now this %1s that we have here, this one simply means the choice you have to choose in this statement. The choice you have to choose in this statement is just one. It's either n or y. And now we have this while statement, which is response is equal to, this is also an array, which is while response is equal to either small y and is equal to the response of capital Y. Now, when this displays, do you want to order any item, y or s? When you choose to bring any small letter or capital letter, it's still the same thing. So therefore, you'll be given another prompt and then you order the function again. And now, my other colleague will take you through the function to ask to order again.
We're explaining the function to order users order again. So int order again parentheses this. We're explaining the function to order users order again. So int order again parentheses this declares a function called order again, which returns the value 1 yes for yes, 0 for no. And this child responds to this declares an array called response with a fixed size of 2. So I mean it's only 2 variables, only 2 characters can be stored in this array. Printf, do you want to order again? This prompts the user whether he wants to order again or exit. So the user is supposed to enter y for yes and n for no. Now this kind of %1c response retrieves the user's input and stores into the array. Now when you come here, the space before the %1c ensures that any leading white space from the previous input is ignored. From the previous input is ignored. Now without the space here, any previous input in the program may cause the program from skipping the user's input in this part. That may cause a bug or something. And the one for the C ensure that the input of the user is reached, ensure that the program reads only one character from the user's input. The user may enter a bunch of characters, but this will ensure that only one character is stored in the array, which will prevent a buffer overflow. Let's move on to the if statement. If the response equals small y or response equals capital Y, and this makes the program case sensitive. And the zero here will access the first character in the array. If so, this checks if the statement here equals true, it will return 1. That means the user has entered either this or this, and that means he wants to order again. He wants to return 1, which will start the process again. Else if the response equals n small n or after n, that means the user wants to exit, so to return 0, which will exit the program. Else printf evaluates choice. But if the user if the user didn't enter either y or n, it will prompt the user that it's an invalid choice, so he should enter y or n. So after this, so if the user enters an invalid choice, this return order again will run the program again and ask. We'll start from here. So it will ask the user to enter Y or no if you want to continue or exit the program. And then return order again. Okay. Now let's go to the main function. Well, the main function is the main function that allows this to run the other system. Now this item research types define area on which declares an array called menu, and then this array stores a name which is a string and a price which is a float. There's a bank when across to there's a price 10 cities, 12 rice 15 cities, watch it with meat, and then 25 cities for full like soup, 25 cities, 35 cities, go on there, crown soup, 30 cities. Okay. We declare a variable called total which will store the total bill. So before which store the total bill, and this is int offer, displays a variable called offer and a variable called order again, and a printf equals for the creation. So this is the welcome message. Welcome to GCT local restaurant. We offer the best meals ever. And a new line. One to view. One to view. Two to exit. Printf, enter your choice. And the user is supposed to enter 1 to view the menu, 2 to exit. So if the user enters 1, the menu will be displayed. This menu will be displayed to him. And if the user enters 2, that means he likes to exit, so the program exits successfully. Okay, that's all.
And also we print a statement which allows the user to enter his or her choice. And basically the scanf is there to take or collect the user's input. So if the user chooses to view the menu by selecting 1, the display menu function is called to show the menu items. So then we create a code which asks the user to place an order. And in this case too, the user is given 2 options, whether to place an order or to exit. And this is how it's done. We print a statement which allows the user to place an order. And also print a statement which allows the user to exit. And then we print a statement which allows the user to enter his or her choice. And then the scanf takes the input of the user. So if the user selects 1, the program enters a do while loop. And we use a conditional statement which is if the user enters 1. And if the user enters 2, the program basically exits. So if the user selects 1, the program enters a do while loop. The menu is being displayed again to help the user remember their choices. The function take over, bracket open, main, comma, abscissa, total, bracket close, is called to take the user's order and update the total price. So let's move on to the displaying of the total bill. After the order is taken, if total is greater than 0, it means the user has ordered something. So the total bill is displayed. Otherwise, the program prints you entered, you didn't order anything. So we then create a program which asks the user if he or she wants to order again. The function order again brackets asks the user whether they want to order more food. If they enter Y, which is yes, order again is equal to 0, and the loop repeats. If they enter N, which is no, order again is equal to 0, and the loop exits. Thank you.
So I'll be taking you through the last stage of the order system of a restaurant, which is the payment handling logic. But then let us elaborate on the comment section, which is this. So the comments always give us information about the code, but does not appear when we run the. So to start, I'm going to talk about the method handling logic, which allows the user to select a method of payment. So the method of payment for ours is the mobile transaction and also the cash transaction. So we print out a statement which prompts the user to enter a method of payment. Then also, so that method of payment is the mobile transaction and the cash transaction. We also print out a statement for the user to choose a choice, which is enter your choice, which is the mobile transaction and the cash transaction. So the scanf takes in the input of the user. So let's continue. We use a conditional statement at line 109. So we use an if statement, which is a conditional statement. So if the user transaction is equal to 1, which is the mobile transaction, then a print out statement will print out a mobile transaction selected. But if the input which is being taken is equal to 2, then we use an else if statement, which is equal to 2. Then we print out a statement which will then say cash transaction selected. So to continue from this place, we use int to declare an amount which is being entered, and we introduce a do while loop. So this is the do and the while loop. So the do while loop here serve as an important rule, which is if there is a statement in the conditional statement which if the amount which is being entered is greater than the total, then it won't repeat anything. But if the amount is less than the total, then the do while loop come in place. So it will do this statement again, enter amounts, where the scanf takes in the input of the user. So we introduce an if statement into the do while loop. So if the amount entered is equal to and greater than the total, then a statement is printed, which is payment confirmed and thank you. But if the amount is less than the total, it will be insufficient balance. Please enter the right amount. So moving on to the if the customer selects an option which is 2, which is the cash transaction, the print out statement will be like cash transaction selected. So the int declares the amount which is being entered. So we use a do while loop, here to repeat a statement. So there is a condition at the while loop here. So if the amount which is being entered is less than the total, then it will do this printf statement again, which is the enter amount. But if so, we introduce another if statement. So if the amount which is being entered is greater and equal to the total, then it won't do this statement again, but rather say payment confirmed, thank you. And also if the amount which is being entered is less than the total, then it will display an insufficient cash, please enter amount again. And that amount which will be entered again must be greater and equal to the total. So that's it. So then if everything is done, we print a statement using the else statement to say thank you, visit our site again. So I'm very grateful to present this to you.